Hello everybody, welcome back once again to emmavoid's Let's Play of Kentucky Route Zero. I'm emmavoid, as you probably already know, and this is Kentucky Route Zero, as you also probably already know. And we're here on the Mucky Mammoth. Last we left off, we were wandering around and, exploring the boat. So, let's continue on that, shall we? Also, there's a kitty. Hi, kitty. Okay. Hey, musicians, what's up? Really? You were entranced. You don't remember this? It's okay. We've all seen a lot of concerts. Cyrano opened, his tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic. Right, at the flower shop. I remember that show, Sorry, Clara. Well, you have a second chance to hear it tonight. That was fast. Got the batteries. Let's see. Perfect. This one will do. So, you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. Oh yeah, I remember this. We're gonna do some sound recording. I don't remember which option we picked last time, but are you playing a concert tonight? I could record that. Yeah, Clara here came all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig. It's a tour. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville and then Atlanta and then over to the coast. Brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once and I remember loving it, and Johnny was moved. Speaking of Serrano, it's his night at the rum colony. Kate said she usually stops off there. Well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago. 3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there. I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. Nah, it's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. Hey, why don't you give that tape recorder a try? See if that cat over there has anything he wants to say. I often use found sounds in my music. If you find some interesting sounds tonight, you can help me out. Awesome. Let's go record this cat. Hey, kitty cat. Oh dear. Oh, Conway. Your arm. Right. Well then. Oh, and now we're playing Conway. Okay. Unexpected, but I can work with this. You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here. Neither can I. Damn noisy river. It's just that thing about... What was it? When you walk through a door, when you go into the kitchen for something, and as soon as you pass from one room into another, you forget what you wanted. You have to walk back out just to remember, like you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain-crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. You were driving for hours. Get any sleep? I had a weird dream. Yeah, that's when you get the strangest dreams. When you nod off, right? Just kinda dip your toes into sleep and some weird image floats by and takes a nibble. Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below. There's all kinds of trash down here. Could have fallen off the hull back there. I think that kid was playing on the trash barge earlier. He seems to keep himself entertained. It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. What's up, huh? You look like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. I thought you didn't drink. Well, I didn't. I mean, I did, and then I didn't, and then I did again. That's how it always goes. I drift out, and finally wind up back in the sets with my head between my legs, saying never again. 15 months this time. I think I hung on because I knew there wouldn't for much longer be anywhere to go back to. She went to live with her sister now, and she probably won't remember me for long anyway. One time, she picked me up out of a ditch by the road, blackout drunk at dawn. I came around later that night. She'd taken care of me. I told her that I didn't deserve it, and she said I didn't have to deserve it. She sounds like a saint. We should all have someone like that. Oh, you wouldn't say that if you knew her when she was younger. That girl was wild. I guess she's got her own problems now. I wish I could help out. Hey, maybe I could make some money and send it to her sister. Maybe they'll keep me on at the distillery, I mean. I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I've got to repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to settle up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go sudden. Yeah, the whole glowing bones thing definitely represents the debt he's in. And I get the feeling that it's gonna be going even further. Oh hey, we're on the boat. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. The problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Kate told me I ought to have been a photographer. She said, you have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there, and that's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway. Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river. Most of them I picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listening, see? Now I know what you're gonna ask, so I'm gonna answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain, and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle facts of experience. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop throw up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or, anyway, I talked to a few sailors who'd recently crossed paths with him, and I suspect sampled his wares. One night when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to a mail drop by the silo of Late Reflections. I knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians whom I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time. A young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog. Ah, he's talking about our group. We docked at the gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. So did Ezra stay on the tugboat or follow Junebug and Johnny? Let's say he followed Junebug and Johnny. Act 4, Scene 2. A gas station. Cool. We cut it close. I usually find this place upriver. Everybody's on the lake tonight. The gas station moves around? Sure, it's not anchored or anything. Could be anywhere up and down the Echo. You just kind of run into it when you need it, or hopefully a little before you need it. I usually stop here once a night, though to be honest, I'm not sure it's even the same one. It doesn't have a name or anything, and I never really pay attention to who's behind the counter. Anyway, it's nice to see you two. Most of my regular passengers must have gotten held up elsewhere in their journey tonight. It's that storm, I think. Watching Ezra sprint past. Look at him go. That kid has a lot of energy. It's gotta be past his bedtime or something, right? I don't think he has a bedtime. He's a maverick. Sounds familiar. You don't have any of your own, I mean. No, I guess not. I just realized you two come through here so often. We chat about all kinds of stuff, but I never thought to ask about family. We are all the family we need. That's sweet. So, how about that storm upstairs? Did you two get caught in it? I heard it kind of roamed around, uncertain. I'm sure we'll hear all about it tomorrow. Flooding, property damage, probably killed a few tomatoes. It's got the river churning and everyone headed to the lake here where the water's calmer. I myself don't mind navigating a choppy river. Not at all. I've got a good feel for it. Plus, it's better for fungal growth. High water consumes the cave moths, and their wet wings clump together into these little balls of nutrient-dense mushroom food, jammed by current here and there between the rocks. Never have seen a mushroom grow like on a soggy cave moth carcass. Amazing. If I could get a day off, Val and I would be out there all day tomorrow to harvest. I mean it. They'll be ready by tomorrow. A mushroom will grow just as fast as you can pump water into it. Hey, are you two headed out this way tomorrow? Maybe I could send Val ashore with you for a few hours. She's got a remarkable nose for mushrooms. You wouldn't even need to know what to look for. Put a bag around her neck and she'll just bring them back to you. Yeah. No room on the bike for a dog, Cricket. She could curl up in the sidecar. I'll sit on my legs. So, I should get back aboard. No rush. I just want to brew some tea before we get underway. Headed into the station? Thought I'd grab some black coffee for the old man. He's looking a bit waterlogged. Sure, don't want him falling asleep on you. Nah, he'll be alright. He seems like the type who can hold his liquor. Seems like he has a little experience, I mean. Hey, while you're in there, could you remind the gas station attendant this fuel is on my tab? Charged to the Mucky Mammoth. Oh, and Will wanted a scratch ticket. Thanks. I guess I'll just watch the lake for a bit, ma'am. Yay, Junebug! You can hear the little motors working as she walks. I love it. Alright. Johnny and Val, attendant. Let's start with that. Looking for crystals? I need a scratch ticket. What kind? Junebug examines the lottery display case. Bats, Sudoku puzzle, or grassy field? Let's go with the one with the bats on it. Sure, bat bucks. Everybody buys that one. No idea why. Anything else? Snacks. Sure, we have snacks. How about some jerky? It's homemade, not by me. Work on the mammoth. I can add it to your tab. Oh, you know the tugboat? The captain, Kate, said I'd have to remind you. Sure, they're here every night. It's okay. I have one of those faces. Forgettable. Does it bother you? I've learned to cherish it. There's dignity in being forgotten, letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled. I used to live in a city. I mean, a real city. Cleveland, Ohio. I had some family money then, and I didn't have to work. I lived in hotels. In daylight, I walked wherever the people were. My only duty was to the crowd. I was its observer, its historian, its detective, its poet. Well, the money ran out, and I disappeared with the rest of them. I took my duties with me here, to Lake Lethe and the Echo River. I live behind this counter, anonymous, invisible, but I live with dignity. And yourself? No, I don't think so. I'm not a... No, I don't blend in. Not so easy to forget, I'd say. I see now that you're right. Well, that's yours to bear, then. Snacks are in the back there. Snacks, snacks, snacks. Where's the snacks? There we go. Junebug surveys a row of chocolates, licorices, cheese crackers, dehydrated, bleached, reconstituted, constituted, and colorized. Johnny seemed distant. Traveling with all these people might be like sensory overload for him. A bag on the bottom shelf is decorated with cartoonish pictures of vegetables. Through a plastic window in the packaging, she can see puffed corn shaped and colored like carrots, tomatoes, and broccoli florets, and a few puffy white discs that might represent potatoes. What would it be like to travel with one more? Somewhere in there is surely a preservative, in case the rest of the process hasn't done enough to stop the flow of time. It may be best just to ask him what's on his mind. She turns the bag over to look for the ingredients, but only finds a marketing blurb, inspired by real vegetables. Neat. Use Norm? Shit, that floodwater washed you halfway up out to sea. I was looking for you down by New Königsberg, same as usual, but ain't nobody there. And the river's deep as an elephant's... Noticing Junebug. Oh, didn't see you there, ma'am. Pardon my language. What, elephant? Alright, you're no paper flower, I see that. Extending his hand warmly. I expect you must be Loretta. Enchanted to meet you. Sorry I'm late. Hey, is that coming on too flowery or something? Enchanted? Repeating it now, I feel a little silly. I'm not Loretta, but I think you'll do fine with Enchanted. Well, thanks for saying so. But now I'm double embarrassed. How do you know Loretta? I really don't. I met Loretta on the computer. We met each other there, I mean. Or I guess we spoke through the computer and then agreed to meet? I don't know the terminology. I haven't dated in quite a while. Back when I met Greta, that's my wife. Excuse me, my ex, or maybe I'm her ex. I don't know what to say about it. Anyway, back then there wasn't such thing as computers at all. I mean, I guess there probably was, but I never heard of one. I worked in textiles. So here I am. So what's your plan when Loretta shows up? Oh, maybe head down to the rum colony. Shoot, I forgot to ask if she likes to drink. You really never know these days. I guess first I'd ask her about that. If she doesn't like rum, I'd maybe try to take her by the Bat Sanctuary. That's pretty romantic, in a sense. I mean, like, Misty Valleys and ruined churches romantic, not like flowers and chocolates romantic. Of course, they've got that memorial there. That's a little depressing, actually. Maybe we'd kind of sail around that. Damn it all, I guess I probably missed her. I wonder if she'll agree to meet me again. I'm sure she'll understand, with the weather and all. Nice of you to say so. Well, I guess I'll head on back. Hey, supposing Loretta doesn't want to see me after all. My card is full. Oh, no, sorry, that's not what I meant. Actually, I wanted to ask you for some advice. I had to type up a sort of autobiography for the computer date, and I spent a lot of time on it, but I only got one reply, and that was Loretta herself. I was happy to meet her, but supposing she's lost interest now. Do you think you could maybe give me some feedback? It's only a paragraph or so. I have it all memorized. I spent so damn long writing it. Okay, here's how it goes. I'm a good-natured man, retired, and spend most of my time sailing the Echo River, riding currents of subterranean gas and that strange invisible wind that moans out of the small tunnels along the bank. Seeking a companion to map the river with me, I have 2 grown children, but they live far away. No goofballs. Okay, what do you think? What's that about goofballs? I mean, like, serious inquiries only. You might miss out on some really great goofballs. You may be right about that. You'll be fine. Alright, thanks for your help, ma'am. Really renewed my confidence. I'm ready to get back on that computer. You have a good night now. What's left of it, anyway. Yeah, alright. Ah, Johnny's talking to Val. So, what do you think of that other dog we got on board, Val? Blue's a sleepy old hound dog. I know she isn't doing any mushroom hunting, that's for sure. Weird cave fungus growing on soggy moth wings. Sounds kind of romantic, but also kind of gross, right? So, would you like to ride with us for a day? I guess you'd miss Kate, even just for a day. Nah, I guess it's settled anyway. Nice to think about, though. Interesting. Sorry, Cricket. Nothing good on offer. Not even those little gummy pomegranate seeds. I didn't look. It's okay, I'll go check. Wish me luck. Good luck. No, and now we're Johnny. Let's see. Hey man, how's your night? Quiet. Where are you headed? Just following Junebug. She was in here a minute ago. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling you two might be traveling together. I never travel, but I do love travelers. That's what I like about this job. The travelers come to me. Meet some interesting people. I wouldn't say I meet them, but I do sell them gas. Well, let me know if I can help you find anything. Who's this? Glory, it is good to be among friends. Suit yourself. Well, what are you so excited about? I can't help it. Every time I step onto that boat alone, I think this could be the very last time. And then every time I come ashore, back among people, I think, Glory, it is good to be among friends. Why get on the boat in the first place? It's a ritual remembrance for me. Tonight, particularly so. It's my birthday. I'm 5 years old. Do you know why I say that? Well, I'm going to tell you. 5 years and some days ago, I set out onto the Echo River, alone, or so I thought at the time. I was looking for an ice floe. They're occasionally rumored to travel our humble artery on their way to who knows where, from who knows where to who knows where. Who knows why? It's a mystery. An hour into the journey, my lantern gave out. Now, I always carry 3 or 4 spares. You'll never catch me in the dark again. Lesson learned, buddy. But that night, when that lantern went out, I was stuck in the dark. I kept my arm extended, running my fingers along the cave wall, trying to keep my bearing as best as I could and at least make sure I wasn't going in circles. I just prayed I'd find another traveler who knew his way back to the lake or above ground, or even just a crack in the rock to get a glimpse of moonlight. I had a large bag of apples with me. After a long while, maybe a day, I was getting weak, so I took my hand down from the rock to tear the bag open. Well, when I reached back out, I couldn't find that cave wall anymore, or any other. I was totally unmoored, buddy. Totally adrift. And it was so dark. I started counting time and apples eaten. I drifted in despair for 4 apples. Then I schemed and planned and dreamed for 2 apples. Finally, I came to accept my fate, lost at sea, and this phase, I think, would have continued indefinitely had I not come down to that very last damn apple. Picture me, feeling around in the empty bag, certain that somehow there was another one of those fist-sized chunks of life-giving fruit, already softened by time and probably an unappetizing brown. Nope, that was it. Just as I was about to bite into my last meal, I felt a tickle on my upper lip. It hatched right then. Couldn't have been a moment later I would have eaten it. My last apple was infested by a damn fruit fly maggot. Well, that should have been the end of it. I should have eaten that apple, and that fly while I was at it, and put an end to our little food chain suicide pact. But I waited, out of mercy. After all, this fly was basically a newborn child, right? A gross insect child, but still a child, right? Born into darkness and famine, hungry and alone. I mean, can you imagine that? No other flies out there on the boat, never would be. No other flies to welcome it into the world. I mean, no fly culture, no fly society, no fly history. A true orphan. I started to get depressed just thinking about it all. I worked out a thick tear, I'm not ashamed to say. Well, that fly landed on my cheek, right under my left eye, like on that salty teardrop. And then, blinding glory, his ass lit up like a candle. That wasn't a fly, buddy. That was a damn lightning bug. So, that's how come I'm here today with you folks. Only because I found my way out of that strange river cave by the dim-lit rear of some orphan insect hatched out of my last rotten apple. Glory, it is good to be among friends. Okay. That's weird. But, okay. Did my Johnny talk your ear off out here? I suspect there are some things he can only say to animals. Oh wait, no, let's go with the other one. Damn, he's even got me talking to dogs now. I think I can see why he does it. You're a good listener, Val. Alright, looks like we're about done at the gas station then. What you got for us, Junebug? That guy is a trip, that gas station attendant. Did you talk to him? It's funny, he actually reminds me of that frog we had for a bit. That frog you had. Aw, I like to think he was a part of the family, you know? He seemed more like a cat to me. The attendant, I mean. Oh yeah, I can see that too. Aloof, but strangely chatty. Maybe we should pick up another one. A frog or a cat or an iguana or something. Feeling lonely, Cricket? Not exactly. Not like that guy in the gas station. That guy lets the world wash over him, static like a rock. But I... you and me both, together, I mean. We're always moving, always changing. I think it's because we feel safe with each other, you know? Free. We can try stuff out, change our clothes, swap parts around, just play. I'm not lonely, just curious. With another person to play with, what else could we be? You may be right, Cricket. You really think so? Wow. I thought I'd have to wear you down a little, like I did with the gerbils. Gerbils. Oh, that's Kate. Time to hit the road. River, I mean. Twerks. See that small brick building? It used to be an upholstery shop. Now it's inhabited by a very skilled taxidermist whose art is greatly in demand. When it was an upholstery shop, it didn't see nearly as much business. That old shop's name has been lost to time and weather, This was decades ago, and the only trace of it now is the frayed frame of an old sign behind the new lettering, which now reads Trapper, Stalker, and Sportsman, and then below, smaller, no specimen is too exotic, no arrangement too fanciful. Some of the upholstery equipment is still there too, and still sees active use. Elise is the resident artist, though she's not the owner of the shop. Ooh. It's owned by her aunt, Ida. Ida has very little to do with the day-to-day. She's busy with other endeavors, mostly the restaurant she and her husband run out on Lake Lethe. Oh yeah, Ida. Let's see. Shannon retreating to the TV room to browse the video collection, or following the others on shore to the rum colony. Yeah, let's definitely head over there. Here we go. Oh, and we've got... Yay, flashlight time. Nice. Yep, sounds like him. Our French Cyrano is booked here tonight. He's pretty good. He's a wizard of the lap steel guitar. Are you two coming ashore? Oh, sure, we'll be up in a minute. You couldn't hold me back. Oh, I don't know. Kate says to just wander back whenever. This is a take-it-easy kind of stop. She doesn't even blow the foghorn to round up the crew here. No point. Something about this spot is like wax in the ear when it comes to timetables and responsibilities. I was supposed to meet someone here earlier tonight about some bike parts. Hope she's still around. Oh, I'm sure she is, ma'am. Half sleeping into a fragrant mug with all the other wayward sailors. Interesting. What's this? Oh, hold still. Come on. Dang it. There we go. Shannon finds a bottle. Its label is worn away, but the words Hot Hell Rum are legibly embossed on the glass. The bottle is empty, except for a sleeping crab. Aww. Oh, come on. This music is so sweet, don't you think so? It's like a flower, I think. A delicious, heavy flower. Like this flower in my drink. Makes my eyelids feel like petals, wet with early morning dew. Have you ever slept on the beach? Doesn't the sand get all everywhere? Oh, probably. I'll deal with that tomorrow. I certainly won't deal with it tonight. Tonight I'm just sipping this... I forget what it's called. They put a pale pink flower in it. Isn't that tranquil? Oh gosh, I'm so stressed out. What are you stressed out about? Work, love, the weight of each approaching day. Everyone deserves to rest, don't you think? Even you and I? Sure we do. Sure we do. Someday the lake and the riverbed will be dry. The shops along it will be bankrupt and homes empty, boats abandoned. See, even the river will rest. Why should we be any different? You know, my colleagues and I are meant to be celebrating something of a milestone this evening. A milestone? It's true. We, well, it's kind of hard to explain. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Ever heard of it? Of course, I met you there earlier tonight. Oh, of course. Good to see you again. Oh, wait, now I remember. We came by to see Senior Clerk Chamberlain. Oh, our dear Miss Chamberlain. Tragically, she couldn't join us tonight. Jumped ship at the last minute. Said she had packing to do. I wonder where she's going. Profound sigh. All this conversation is making me lightheaded. I think I'll shut my eyes a bit. Maybe just halfway. I'll listen to the water and this sweet music, the whispers of my colleagues, shop talk. Can you believe it? Still working, always working. It's better, I think, to sleep. Yes, better to sleep. Alright, buddy. Enjoy your nap. Oh, what's this? A small box, about the right size for an injured baby bird or a couple of mice, but only full of sand. Shannon rolls a few grains in her fingertips, and it feels different from the sand under her toes. Finer and slicker. She has a feeling it's from a different beach. Huh, that's really weird. Alright, Bureau folks, what's up? The water's fine, invigorating, makes me want to run. I could gallop up and down this beach like a horse. What's he yelling about? He wants to run on the beach, like a horse, he says. Oh dear, what's in these drinks? Your friend's laying in the sand over there. I think he's asleep. Oh, poor Rick. He's a lightweight. I think he just drank too fast. It's easy to get carried away. Oh, he always gets so melancholy when he drinks. Remember the office picnic at that big flat rock? Oh, I remember. He was talking Lula's ear off. She slipped away and he sat on the ground nursing that brown bottle, crying, sobbing about the days that are no more. Poor Rick. It'll never be. Invigorating! Catch anything, Lewis? So, did you find what you were looking for? With Lula, I mean. It's a work in progress. I know what you mean. I've been working on... I think I will go for a run along the beach, as soon as I'm finished with this drink. Try not to yell so loud, Lewis. I'm afraid you'll shake the ceiling loose. Alright, you bunch of dorks. Oh, what's this? No, come back. Something glints back in the flashlight's beam. Shannon brushes sand off a damaged VHS tape. The smudged label reads, "Private. Do not watch, but do not erase." Huh, interesting. Ooh. Styrofoam cup, half buried in the sand, miraculously intact. Still has some coffee in it. Maybe from the bar, or maybe someone dropped it here on their way to the bar. Maybe they weren't even headed to the bar originally, but drank their coffee too fast and needed a stiff counterbalance. Shannon thinks about the war of liquids in the stomach. Coffee to start a day, liquor to end it, apple cider vinegar to patch up the battlefield. Her mouth feels dry. She thinks about all the nervous casualties of the liquid war, clumsy alchemists transmuting day into night. She thinks about a chalky, gray-pink liquid her mother kept for upset stomachs. That was stored in a coffee cup, too. Huh. That's a little strange, but okay. Doesn't look like there's anything else up here. So I guess we're headed back down to the building. Oh, here we go. What's this? A damp matchbook rests on top of the sand. Shannon flips it open without looking, runs her thumb across the cardboard, and finds one match still intact. She stares ahead, transfixed by the texture on her fingertip, and she wonders if it will flake apart and leave her hand smelling and feeling like fire for the rest of the night, or if the cold lake water has already washed away that part of the match, the part that smells and feels like fire. Huh. It's pretty neat the ways this game is, like, so poetic sometimes. Shannon finds a feather, brushes it clean. When she was a child, she collected feathers. Not the way a hobbyist collects trinkets, but the way a clump of dust collects more dust by static electricity. She deposited them on the kitchen table at the end of the day. Weaver's mother said it was unhygienic. Shannon's mother said that was American germaphobe bullshit and put them in a vase. Alright then. Who's this? Hello. Happy to be in the here and now. I hear shuffling. Are you dragging your feet or just enjoying the sand between your toes? Deep in thought, I guess. I think you have something weighing on you, and I respect that enough not to press the subject. We're always being pressured to talk about our problems. It's all over the radio and the self-help section of the bookstore, but my ethos is to just sit with it, alone inside of yourself. My spiritual advisor says, if something is boring after 2 minutes, try it for 4, and I think that applies for any other dissatisfaction just as well. I wanted to ask you something. I thought of it earlier, but it didn't seem like the right time. I'm sure you know what I'm getting at. You wanted to ask about my friend, the old man. Oh no, I think I read him pretty clearly. He's an outwards reflecting kind of person. I mean, he reflects the world back out, largely uncolored. You and I, we're inward reflecting, I think. It means we prefer to nurture the best and worst of ourselves in quiet and interior spaces, and that's okay. Wouldn't you agree? Is that what you wanted to ask? No, it was... Well, I forget it now. Typical. Alright. An untouched drink sits on a table, forgotten or abandoned or simply wasted. Oh hey, it's Conway. There she is. You have to try one of these flower drinks. I feel like I could drink 100 of them. Not too sweet, not too strong, you know? A real session drink. We'll be scraping you off the beach. No, it's not one of those. Not one of those really strong drinks. Just sort of... It doesn't taste like a flower. I mean, not like a flower smells. You know, perfumed, sickly sweet. Like a star thistle flower. You know, my mother was obsessed with those awful weeds. We had a small house just about leaned up against a hill, and every spring that hill would explode with yellow star thistle. And she'd tear into them. Wild, I mean, really enraged by it. She said they were an invasive species, like foreign squatters on her land or something. I used to think she was such a wicked old lady to get so violent about it. After she died, I mean, a few years later, I came by the house again. It was spring, but I didn't see a single yellow flower on that hill. She must have finally got them. Or maybe they followed her home. More old stuff. I'm drowning in old stuff tonight. Feels like I've got it piled up all around me. Like one of those old guys you hear about who never threw anything away. You know what I mean? Hey, maybe you should slow down. Oh no, I don't think so. In fact, I could use a few more of these. Just take a book of matches to the room. That should clear everything right up. Know what I mean? Sorry, I'm not making sense, am I? I just mean to say I can't look at anything without remembering something else, and then that reminds me of something else, and I'm buried in it. I just need to get my head clear for a minute. Get a clear view of the day, get oriented. There was a time when I felt this way, I'd bite the bullet, try to sober up and get a job. Is that why you're going to work for the distillery? Maybe it is. Seems like a pretty simple answer, right? Just follow the work as long as I can. You've got me all figured out. Hey, I'm going to sit and look at the water for a minute. I'll talk to you later. Don't be a stranger. Oh, Conway. Conway. At first, Shannon mistakes the iridescent glimmer for a seashell washed up from the lake, maybe some freshwater relative of the abalone or even a pearl, but it's only a trading card. Must have been valuable to someone, or wouldn't be printed on this lustrous material. Whatever was on it, mostly worn away. All that's left is the shiny backing and the words, Gleaners Forward. Looks like that's about as far out this way as we can go. So, back we go again. Junebug. Hey, guess who I just saw like an hour ago? That lady with the engine for sale. You just missed her. I tried to hold her back, but she's all business. I got that impression. Hey, I'm sure another one will come on the market soon. Hey, any of your friends want a drink? I've got time. Busy night, but everyone's deep in their straws by now. Why so busy? It's these kooks from upriver. They all came in together. I think it's some kind of work thing. They're nice enough, but, you know, I've got to keep an eye out for lightweights trying to swim home or something. I don't have that kind of insurance. Anyway, I don't mind them, but you know how territorial Dawn and Sunny get after a couple of Mai Tais. Speaking of which... We'll pass. Well, actually... I do want to know, like, hear about it, maybe. What have you been mixing up? Let's see, what's good tonight? My Dark Heaven? What's that like? Chill a tall glass with a little fine sugar at the bottom, then just keep pouring in gold rum till it starts to turn blue. Add blue curacao, stale jerkies, and sugar. Some folks like orange curacao. I always include a little umbrella. What else you got? Aged rum noir? What's that like? 1 shot light rum, 2 shots dark rum, stale jerky. Think about something else for a bit. Throw a little umbrella on top. This place is ridiculous. What else? Frozen toes. And that is 1 shot spiced rum, 2 shots gold rum, stale jerky, refrigerate, throw an orange peel on top. Why does everything have stale jerky in it? Suffering and fragrant. 1 part stale jerky, a few parts spiced rum. Throw a toothpick on there to soften the blow. Suffering zombie on the beach. Just enough aged rum to make your inner ear vibrate, then add stale jerky and simple syrup to taste. Blend and that's it. Wow, there's a lot of these. It's the Dark Devil. Just enough Demerara rum to make your tongue sting, then add stale jerky and green curacao to taste. Okay, I think we're done with that bit. No problem. See you around. Anyway. Hey, did you hear the ice caps are melting? I mean the polar ice caps, the ones all the way at the top. Don't listen to him, hun. He's all doom and gloom tonight. Don't listen. That's the answer, Dawn. Well, what else can you do? Someday all of this will be underwater. We'll all be drowned. What can you do? You can recycle? Half measures avail us nothing. Don't be a pessimist, Sonny. Have another Mai Tai. He's just in a dark mood because the bar is crowded tonight. He likes to spread out. You know toxic runoff has decimated the deer population, right? I should go. Sonny, you're insufferable. Yeah, no kidding. I think... Yeah, here we go. That Cyrano guy might be the last one for us to talk to. I'm so glad to see you. These kooks are bumming me out, man. See that guy in the sand over there? He rolled up, kind of off-center, you know, kind of leaning on the stage here, and he was like, "What kind of strings are those, steel or nylon?" Nah, he's just a drunk. Oh, believe me, I know. You gotta be cool about it, or just get a drink and stay in your chair, man. If you're gonna drink like that, just drink. I mean, don't make it my problem. Hey, how's that new tape going? Oh yeah, it's good, man. I mean, it's okay. Everything's recorded, but I still want to do another pass on it, and maybe work on the mix. But it's no rush on that, because I don't have the cash for blank tapes right now anyway. Patch threw me some bookings, so I'm trying to fund it with the tips. But, you know, we're all paying a premium for blank media these days. Everyone's afraid we're dumbing garbage off the radio, so they'll only sell blank tapes in pallets or overpriced 3-packs. Totally cut out the small labels and self-publishers. Crystal and Gordon are just recording over old tapes for their new one. Can you believe that? Save some cash, I guess, but you're always going to have old frequencies bleeding through. It's just chemistry, man. Hey, speaking of which, I'm about mid-set here. Can you take the can around while I play this next one? It's on the tape. I think you'll like it, man. Thanks. Alright, so I guess we're playing as Johnny now. She didn't have to do that. It had to hurt. Yeah, $5, that's nice. But that's the way it goes. The unsteady studying the unsteady. There's probably a $5 bill somewhere just floating up and down the river from tip jar to musician to tip jar to musician like an eternal ferry of good intentions. Yeah, sounds about right. These two are pretty reliable. Where does the money come from anyway? Government check maybe? Nah, then they'd only tip like that on the 1st and 15th. Maybe they fence stereos or something. Alright. These kooks are really going for it. It's good. You can't always hope for much with these fly-by-night crowds. Could have been some deep tiki fanatics getting uptight about Cyrano's tape machine or something, but these folks are tourists wherever they go. This guy is barely here. He's like basically sugary wet sand until the morning. Left a couple bucks by his shoes here, or dropped it. It's probably for the band, if it's for anything at all. I don't think there was anybody down here, was there? No. This is some pretty cool music, though, I have to admit. $0. Will never has any money. Good for him. Yeah, I can see that. This guy's keeping some odd company tonight. Better just to let him be. Huh, and now we're back to... Alright. Yeah, listen, we got a problem down here. Who is this? Man, it's all messed up. I tried realigning that big sewer grate under the livestock pen like you said, right? Who is this? Damn thing flooded, man. It's even worse than before. All I'm saying is, we've got to get these computers out of here. Slow down. I mean, we're running out of time here, man. Hey, I forget, does that big green valve dump water or sewage? You told me earlier, but I've been so stressed it just kind of flew out of my mind. So, should I turn that valve? Yes. Alright, you're the boss. I don't know what we just did, but it's probably something hilarious. Oh hey, now we can talk to Dong. Toxic runoff. That's his latest rant. But I'm not surprised by anything anymore. Before this, it was bovine growth hormones and global warming. Nah, he's harmless. I just don't know him anymore, that's all. He takes bits and pieces of things he reads and synthesizes them all into some grand theory, and it's always the end of the world. But who could know that stuff, right? We can't even predict the weather. I mean, if you could take all these little pieces and predict how they're all going to interact, well, you'd know everything. I'll tell you what to do with that kind of knowledge. When I first met a man, I'd look at his shoes and the kind of books he reads and what he eats for breakfast, and I'd make damn sure we weren't doomed to spend our twilight years greedily emptying Mai Tais and arguing about toxic runoff. Well, you know what they say about hindsight. Here's to a better yesterday. Right. Well then. So, I think we might be about done here. Here, I'll make a round real quick and double check. Alright, well, I think that's about everything here. So, let's move on. Well, that was a pleasant detour. Yes, ma'am. Ready to get moving? How about you round up the old man if you can tear him free? Ah, okay, I guess we should go do that. And then hopefully pick up Ezra too? Although I don't see him running around anymore. Oh, here he is. Yeah, you're right about that. Never quite thought of it that way. Who are you talking to? Oh. No, it's nothing. Hey, let's get out of here. Work to be done, right? Oh, Conway is not in a good way. It's easy to miss, but beneath that quarter-acre swarm of moths, that's Gortina pedocampa, the prominent hard and club moth. The diet is mostly constrained to lichen, but they make an exception for sunflowers. It's a quarter-acre sunflower orchard, and beneath that sunflower orchard there are two small lots with small houses, positioned so they just about butt right up against each other. The houses are empty now of human life. There's no sign of a person or anything living except moss and overgrowth. There are some pipes bolted into the cave wall near the perimeter and a few stone scars where other pipes have been ripped away by scavengers. These once supported the large grow lamps that fed the sunflowers. The lamps are gone now. Once this crop of sunflowers is picked away, it's unlikely anything else will grow here but lichen, moss, and rock formations. The prominent heart and club moth will move on. The houses will be visible again, at least until somebody strips them for building materials, or the river washes them away. The houses were once inhabited by two sisters. Why they built their houses so close together, or lived in any proximity at all, is a mystery, since they clearly despised one another. It's possible the neighboring houses were an attempt at reconciliation. It didn't work. If anything, close quarters just turned up the pressure until those decades of closely held resentments and animosities were pretty near to boiling over. All that energy had to go somewhere, and both sisters had the same idea. They took up gardening. They both cultivated sunflowers, an improbable crop for this location, too improbable to be a coincidence. Maybe the sunflower had some special meaning for them, or maybe when one sister saw her rival sowing the impossible seeds, she knew at once that she couldn't bear to be outdone. Which sister had the greener thumb, we'll never know. The stalks tangled, the roots knotted, and the seeds mixed. Those gangly sunflowers merged the two lots into one undifferentiated field. The two sisters moved out, probably around the same time the moths started showing up. Of course, there was no selling the lots then, overgrown and bug-chewed as they are. In fact, if those sisters ever tried to sell, they'd be in for a rude shock. Not long ago, a property tax clerk, having seen the two adjoining lots registered to the same last name, presumes they belong to the same owner and erased the legal border between them. Well, that's certainly an interesting story. What is this? Valkyrie in blue lounged below desk, where Clara, Kate, and I stopped to do some business by telephone. I? I who? For once, I'm kinda interested about what's been going on the boat. Especially because it's the dogs. Doggos! Hey, doggos. Huh. While those two gentle beasts kept things under control aboard the Mucky Mammoth, I went ashore with the rest of the crew to make use of a public telephone. I called into my answering machine, which I routinely neglect for intervals of months, to chip away at the pile. Kate checked in on a client of hers. She's a birth doula, in addition to being a tugboat captain. Did you know that? Claire talked to her sister in Lithuania. Illness in the family, I gather. Anyway, the evening hit a low point not much later on, so let's take a quiet moment here to listen to the river and reflect on the unburdened sleep of dogs. Similar sort of choices to the ones we've been making, but card game. I kind of want to know what it is. And also see if, like, all of these scenes have been, you know, basically nothing happening, and then a quick recap of what the opposite scene would have been. Clara draws a card. 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. Kate draws a card. 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, and 5 slow hours. What are we listening to? Oh, just this tape a friend of mine sent me. They live in the desert. Vessings? Something like that. Sounds good on the Mammoth's PA. Yeah, that's the only way I listen to anything lately. Your turn, buddy. Ezra draws a card. 9 gray feathers, 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. Ooh. Or... Wait, what's the difference? Wait. Interesting. 9 feathers, 7 petals. 3 breaths versus 8 doves, or 3 doves versus 8 breaths. Let's go with... the 8 deep breaths. Oh no, it was 738. Aw, you're beaten at your own game. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to what was going on, was I? I'm just glad it didn't come to my turn again. You took a bullet there, my friend. It's a hard game, that's why I like it. And we're only... how many cards in now? 5 or something? I assume it will go to 52. It goes until everyone forgets a card. That could go on a long time then. Well, not with this crowd, I guess. We're all too soggy-brained. I know I am. I even take homemade supplements for it. Shade-grown lichen boiled with the peel of a lemon, then frozen and crushed with oak leaves. It's a scalp massage oil. You can smell it if I get close. It dries the brain out a bit, which is helpful for a good memory, if I can remember to use it often enough in the first place. Oh, don't worry. The soggy brain has its benefits too. If your brain is soft and damp, new ideas can make a clear impression, like a boot in wet sand. But like wet sand, it can easily get muddled and washed away. So there's a trade-off, see? Huh. Interesting. It's a shame we can't have it both ways, isn't it? What's this game called, Ezra? Forgetting game. Huh. Well, that was interesting. Kate likes to give her passengers the opportunity to make some floating around money, and that lab pays cash in small envelopes upon completion of their little gauntlet of non-invasive tests. It's a project of the university. I think they're studying... I don't remember. The Mammoth also collects their trash, mostly shredded paper, though Kate says once in a while once they left half a vending machine on the dock. But nobody seemed too interested in the lab stock that night. They stayed aboard and played a card game. I read a book. Let me tell you about it. It's set in a small town in the Pacific Northwest. The town is never named, but it's colorfully described. Woolly fog, broken coastline, provincial shopkeepers. The main characters are mail carriers. They're co-workers, Mimi and Jen. Mimi is older than Jen, but they seem to be at the same point in their lives. They like their work. They have a playfully antagonistic relationship with their boss. I actually only read a bit from the middle. Oh. Jen reminisces about a cat she'd lost track of. It's a sweet and uncomplicated passage. Human affection for animals is a good model for pure compassion. In my life's work as the Echo River's premier anecdotalist, I've always found that a carefully exerted moment is more powerful than any epic history. That's my excuse anyway, for reading books from the inside out. So I stopped there. My eyelids were getting heavy. We were headed back to the lake in a chance encounter with the Iron Pariah. Interesting. Ah. Ezra helped Kate forage for mushrooms. There was mention of that earlier. But I think we'll probably continue this next time. So, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to come back next time when we will continue on, find some mushrooms, probably go further down the river, and if you like this, definitely, leave us a like, subscribe, all that jazz, maybe a comment or two. And be sure to check down in the doobly-doo for links to places to throw money my way. So yeah, I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.